Nothing says fancy quite like ordering lobster. Lobster, of course, being one of the most expensive dishes on any menu. But what if I told you that wasn't always the case? In fact, it was the total opposite. Lobster used to be one of the cheapest meals you could get. And I mean really cheap, like bargain bin ramen noodles cheap. So how did it go from the poor man's dinner to a feast fit for royalty? Are they hard to cook? Was it used for things other than food? Did we run out of lobsters? Or did we just decide we really like seafood? So go ahead and adjust your lobster bib because the answer is coming up. Just imagine it. On your plate is the 4-shoe lobster, aka the Rolls-Royce of lobsters. These rare treats from the chilling waters of Nova Scotia are the sweetest lobsters money can buy. Money being the key word in that sentence. A 4-shoe lobster roll sells for over $20. So before you scarf down next month's rent, do you ever wonder why lobster is so expensive? I mean, how hard can cooking lobster be? Well, turns out it's pretty hard. Lobsters have to be, brace yourself, cooked alive. Yikes. But there's a reason we're acting like barbarians. When a lobster is killed, it releases bacteria throughout its body. Yeah, we learned that the hard way. If you chomp down on a bacteria-filled lobster, you might end up with an intestinal disease called vibriosis. Turns out lobsters don't like being eaten. Who knew? But that's never stopped us before. We still need to figure out why your dinner is making your bank account cry. So let's go back a bit. Lobster wasn't always the delicacy it is today. In North America, lobsters were first eaten by Native Americans, the First Nations, and indigenous communities. And why wouldn't they? Lobsters were literally washing up on shore. By the time European settlers showed up, there were piles of lobsters up to 0.6 meters high. They had more lobsters than they knew what to do with. At one point, they were even using them as fertilizer, which I'm sure smelled great. Needless to say, lobsters were pretty popular. They were readily available and made the perfect nutritional meal. But because humans ruin everything, the abundance of lobster dinners meant it got a nickname, the poor man's meal. So how did lobster go from rags to riches? Well, by the mid-1800s, we started canning lobster. This was a game changer. Lobster became one of the most popular canned products on the market. And because of the demand, the supply started to take a hit. By the time World War II came around, it was considered a delicacy, so it wasn't rationed. So what is it about them? Why do we all seem to crave a buttery lobster dinner? Well, even though lobster is considered a decadent food, it contains fewer calories than an equal portion of skinless chicken breast. Huh, okay. But that must mean it tastes amazing, right? To many, this is true. The meat is firm yet smooth and soft to the bite. Unlike crab, the lobster takes on a sweeter flavor with just a hint of saltiness. Sorry, I was drooling again. So when it comes to the question of how lobster went from rags to riches, our money is on our lobster supply. If one lowers, the other rises. Turns out, we can't get enough of all-you-can-eat lobster. Are you thinking of splurging on a dinner? Let us know in the comments below. Hey, that rhymes. But since we're talking expensive dinners, what do you say we kick it up a notch? If $20 per roll makes you nervous, how about up to $350 a single ounce? That's right, we're talking about truffles, the rarest edible fungi on the market. Why are truffles so rare? We'll have the answer for you on the next Origins of Food.